Welcome back, guys, to the Ultimate Scum One Life Challenge. This is part 4. And yes, it's going to be a little bit of a hectic week for me IRL, but I'm going to try and give you guys one episode each and every day. So yes, now that we formed up our survival and we formed up our archery, we're just going to hit medium archery today. I thought I hit medium, and check what the wind does to this arrow. Check what the wind does to the arrow, boys. Wind or the rain, I really don't care, but that was really, really cool. But yeah, we're just playing around with puppets, trying to get our skills up, and we're on our way to look for better gear. We're on the get the hiking backpack mission at the moment, because without a backpack there's not a lot that you can do. There's not a lot that you can craft. And yes, we haven't found any boat or any vehicle yet, but we're past that. Okay, we're not focused on that. Once we're ready to compete, then we'll see if anyone's doing anything funny. For now, we're just enjoying ourselves, dancing with the fat puppets, getting our timing right and everything. I must say, this is a lot more fun than shooting through a window. It's got a little bit of fear element, but as soon as you've got as soon as you've learned the motion of the ocean, everything will be fine. I still get myself into a little bit scratchy situations, but I always make sure, that I'm not backing myself into any corners. Sometimes I get hit, but I just punch through it. Like I keep hitting them through it. So yes, there are a few times that I get to about 50% health, but then, then I take it slow, then I change gears. As soon as I'm close to 100% health, I, gear down, get those revs going a little bit. And yes, in case you were wondering, nobody dies today. It's not one of those episodes. I'm not dying today. Love the weather. I must say, one thing about Scum is the weather. The weather really, really adds to the ambience. And yes, I must say, I think the 160 to 200 ping that I'm playing with takes a bit of the immersion away, because, hitting puppets, like, I know they're not perfect. Like, even with 0 ping, or in single player, they're not perfect. But I feel the ping does take away a bit of the immersion, okay, and it slows down the puppets. If you guys didn't know, the puppets are a lot faster with low ping or with no ping. So there we hit the medium archery, okay, so we won't focus on the archery again until we get better bows, and we really need to use the bows, because you guys must have fun, with the beginning bow. It definitely helps you to work on your height, because your arrow is dropping so fast. So as you practicing with the weak bow, as soon as you get the better bow, your skills will be much higher. You will be much better with that great bow, because you've practiced with the bad bows such a lot. Okay, so your height calculation and your distance calculation will be a lot better, and then you'll enjoy the other bows a lot more. Like in this episode, I'm going to get a predator bow. I don't know if I show it, but in one of the buildings I got a predator bow, which is a 70-pound bow. Okay, now most of you will know that with 3.5 strength, you can't even pull back a compound bow properly until you have basic archery. Then you can pull back the compound bow, okay? And here with medium archery, I'm going to pull back a 70-pound bow like it's nothing, okay? Which immediately prepares me for the compound bow. And then of course the compound bow is just going to be a lot easier and a lot more fun because of the zoom function and the sights that you have on it. Of course, a lot of you like a crossbow, and I don't know, maybe, if I take too long to find a rifle or a shotgun or something, like if it's very easy for me to find pistol ammo in the police stations, but I don't really find shotgun or MP5 ammo. If I get a nice crossbow, I'll use it. I'm not crazy. I must be honest. I'm not crazy about the crafted. Oh, you lie down. I'm still doing that nowadays, guys. Clicking that X button by mistake. But like you guys see, in no real threat, and I'm shaking my head there with disappointment in myself. But yes, if I get a crossbow, not the crafted one, like I said, I don't really like the crafted one, but if I get a nice crossbow, I'll start using it, especially when I can add a sight to it as well. That will be really cool, like specifically an ACOG sight, a 4x scope. If I can level up my sniping and my rifle skill together, that would be really cool. But personally, I'm a bow fan. A bow is just much faster. So there you guys can see, because it's one puppet, I didn't jump over the couch or panic there at all. So I'm still hitting through their shots, and I'm just getting a lot more relaxed. And yes, everything I find is a pleasure for me, as you will soon find out. I'm taking my time. I'm relaxing. I'm not rushing anything. I'm 41% there for the 1,000 fame. Okay, so we're getting to completing the first mission. I know how to get fishing gear. You just loot various houses. If I find a car, if I find a vehicle, I find a vehicle. If I don't find a vehicle, it doesn't matter. I've already planned where my base will be, and because of where my base will be, not having a vehicle won't be the end of the world. Yeah, I can probably find a boat. Yeah, I'm just showing how happy I am. This is a highlight of the day. Me finding a hiking backpack. Always great if you can put down your pink little school backpack. Feel like a man again. Has a very big influence on your ego. And I need an eco boost with the amount of characters I've used up till now. But yes, where were we? I can probably find a boat, guys, on the edge of the map. But I mean, at some point we'll be able to craft a raft or find a boat to go kill the shark, okay? And for any of you that think killing the shark is difficult, it's not. It's just fun. There are a few missions in this challenge which are just fun. There are other missions that are very difficult, but there's a lot of missions that are just fun. So catching a big fish is fun. It's relaxing. You're getting out of the stress of the puppets and the bunkers and the kill box and everything. So I'd say about 40% of the 4 out of the 10 missions are just to relax, and then the other 6 missions are probably a little bit more stressful, okay? But we are going to do the fishing and everything, and yes, now that I've got the hiking backpack, I am on my way to my sector, which I am going to place my base in. And yes, I want it to be, one of the challenges is so that the base gets voted on by the viewers, okay? So even if the guy completes a challenge, he will still have to show his base, and then, he will still have to get a vote from the viewers. So of course I'm going to make my base as nice, as practical as possible, instead of just as safe as possible. I'm going to try and make it aesthetically pleasing, okay? And then, yes, as soon as you I mean, if you get a little axe, it's fine. You can craft a stone axe, which is quite easy. And if you chop down a tree, guys, just remember that branch clump, not the logs, the branch clump that you get from a tree. When you cut that up, it's not only those long sticks that's in the vicinity. Just move around, okay? There's a lot of long sticks that gets pumped out of that stick clump, okay? So you can get 24 arrows plus very easily from that stick clump, you know. So it's your choice. That I personally find easier. If you've got a lot of bushes around you and you don't want to craft the axe, then just chop a bunch of bushes down. That's an option as well. For me, I just like having the axe because for a lot of the crafting, you're going to need planks, okay? And you can't get planks from bushes. So I prefer having an axe, whether I have to craft it or whether I have to keep one on me. And that's why I was so disappointed with dropping the axe in that last episode, okay? Where we died. Why did we die? I can't remember, but we died in any case. So that's why I don't want to drop an axe ever. Like a crafted axe I'll drop, but an axe that I can find and that I can repair with a toolbox. That's a very bad idea to drop that, because you don't have to use it as a defensive weapon, but if you're in that situation where your weapon's durability goes to 0 and you can't use it anymore, then the small axe or the big axe that you've got in your inventory really helps, really makes a difference. I'm seeing those two thin ones come, so I'm not gonna worry about the fat one anymore. And again, I've got 100 health, I'm not worried, and I am using the distance. Waiting for them to hit before I hit. Because when they hit, they're stationary. Before they hit, they are coming in at you, okay? But as soon as they hit, they are stationary, giving you the option to hit. But you always need to keep moving back to stay out of that hit range. I don't know if that will work so well with a single player where I'll have 0 ping. But at least we've got an example of 160 ping, how to handle the puppets. Then we will see if it works with 0 ping or very low ping as well. Of course, on single player I have 0 ping. Okay, so the reason that I'm still going to do a single player series is first of all because the difficulty is going to be so high that I don't think anyone would ever join that server. And it doesn't really matter if there's 1 or 2 or 3 people that really want to do the challenge with me, then I'm gonna on the first episode I'll always leave the server settings, okay? The server INI or server settings.ini file. I'll leave those settings in the description and they can copy it and they can do the same single player challenge as me. But because it's going to be so difficult, I can't let the ping or the player base affect that, because I want to showcase Scum and someone hoarding vehicles or killing everyone or bad ping. I need to showcase Scum like most players will experience Scum. Like most Americans and most Europeans have low ping. The fact that I'm in South Africa is probably it's not the worst, but it's one of the worst places that you can be, latency wise. So, and I need to have a server in Europe so that the whole world can play on the server, with lower ping than me. Or the same ping as me, or like Australia and New Zealand has got a little bit higher ping. But we've already got Vampire already created a one live New Zealand Australia server. So if the Australians and New Zealanders really want their own server, we can help another Australian or another New Zealander to create his own survival evolved server even, if he wants, okay? So I always record when I enter a zone, a point of interest. I call this place the Sardine Factory. Call it the Sardine Harbor. Call it whatever you want, okay? I call it the Sardine Factory. And you get a lot of sardines here. A lot of people came here for vitamin D, okay, but actually sardines are very high in protein and sodium, which is really, really good. So if you don't want to eat meat, okay, if you don't want to eat bird meat, you can eat sardines. And here we've got the Predator bow. It's a 70-pound bow. And as you can see, the arrow drop is much better to handle. Because of the medium bow skill, my accuracy is also a lot better. The arrows aren't random so much. Okay, so I'm hitting with a lot more accuracy, and now it's becoming fun. So I'm gonna use this bow to kill the puppets at a distance, and as soon as I get the compound bow, it's even going to be more fun. Because then I'm even going to have more range, and I'm going to have that zoom effect that the compound bow gives me, and I'm going to put stabilizers on it and suppressors, and silencers on the bow to be as professional as possible, and then I'll still miss some arrows like this, but then I've always got the melee weapon, and again, not panicking at all when it hits me. The red on the screen makes you panic a little bit, but as soon as you start relaxing, you don't stress because of that red. I've got the rag strip on number 4 and the rags on number 3, and I must say, guys, when your injury goes to level 2 or level 3, make sure that you've got rags, clean rags, not clean rag strips, okay? If you're not sick at all, if you haven't got any injury, and every injury is going to enter phase 1, it's fine. But there you can see I'm in phase 3. So until that injury gets completely removed, okay, because it's going to go to phase 2, and there's phase 1, and then it's going to be removed. Until it's removed, having rag strips on me doesn't help at all. Okay, so I need to have the rags, the solid rags on me, until I've removed all those sickness phases, and I need to focus on not getting hit. Although I don't mind getting hit, I need to focus on not getting hit, so that the wounds can heal properly, and I can start using rag strips again. But like I say, I always like this place for the vitamin D. After a while, I fell in love with the mushrooms. I feel the mushrooms are just all over the place. I don't have to go across the map to get red mushrooms. And there's, of course, some foods like milk and eggs that you can get vitamin D from as well. And then with the new metabolism system and the new updates that they're going to bring out, the weather is going to have an effect on you as well. So you'll be able to gain vitamin D, in sunlight or in certain circumstances. But the weather is going to have negative effects on you as well. So this game is just going to get more and more realistic, and I'm completely behind it, because then I can enjoy myself constantly, whether I'm PvPing or not. And I am going to show you guys something here, which has made me lose my stuff a lot, and it's even made me die. If you guys haven't experienced this before, I'm going to give you a tip now, okay? If you've got more than 70 kilograms on your back, do not swim over a river, and watch where you're going so that you don't fall into the water. Because when you've got more than 70 kilograms on your back, you won't be able to swim up. Okay, and a lot of you are going to try and hold on to that hiking backpack for dear life and die in the process. Okay, so simply never get into a river, because the river is going to have a current, okay, that even if you throw your hiking backpack off, you're going to struggle to find that hiking backpack, okay? Maybe if it gets stuck, you're lucky, but a lot of times it moves around, and that will be difficult for you. But here you can see I've taken all the weight off me, and you press C, you press crouch down to go down, and you're holding spacebar to swim up. Of course, I'm light now, so I'm going to go up automatically, so I need to hold in the C key. Now I take that, and because I'm heavier than 17 kilograms, I need to look at what's weighing, what's the most weight. Okay, nothing really weighs a lot except the toolbox, so they automatically go up. Okay, and just doing it systematically. So now I'm throwing that off, and I'm going to get all the clothing off me, go down and get the toolbox, because if I've got no weight on me, you know, the toolbox only weighs 5 kilograms, so of course I'll be able to swim up. So just remember, yeah, by 15 to 17 kilograms, you won't be able to swim up. Okay, so whenever you go for a swim, make sure you haven't got more weight than 17 kilograms, or you can put weight on you like a weight belt. You know, for any divers out there, you can literally put more weight on you to equalize yourself, you know, to traverse the water better. But at the moment with the sharks, guys, it's a hassle. It's a hassle, even to get to a shipwreck, because the swimming is not perfect yet. You know, you are going to get stuck a lot. There are going to be frustrating moments when you're underwater. So, you know, if you want to go for a shipwreck, you know, try and kill the shark first before you try and get there. I don't know how long it's going to... I know the shark takes about a minute to a minute 30 seconds to spawn in when you're in deep water. I don't know how long it's going to take after you kill it. Okay? But that's one thing you can do. You know, get on top of the shipwreck, kill him, then go for the loot. You know, then that's how you go. But again, you must be aware of your weight. Because if you pick up something that puts you over the weight, you're not going to be able to take it to the surface. Okay? So, bottom line, if you take a boat to a shipwreck, put all the loot, okay, in the shipwreck. If you want to weigh yourself down, put something on you that you're willing to lose, okay, like stones or cement bags or whatever the case may be. And then as soon as you pick up the item and you're overall too heavy, you just throw off the weight, the stones or whatever you put on yourself, you know, to weigh down. I normally take the big stones, not the small stones that you find in stone piles, the bigger ones. I think they weigh about 2 kilograms, and I like to weigh myself down like that. If I go for a dive, you know, but that's completely up to you. So we've got the two bone needles, and I need some help again, boys. I need some help again. I did the looting guide, you know, and I checked most of the looting locations, but one thing I didn't focus on is thread. Now, remember, this is a 0.5 loot server. Okay, so it's twice as hard as a official loot server. But if you guys have got any specific spots where you always find thread, it will be highly appreciated, because as we know, we need sewing kits for a heck of a lot of crafting, okay, and just overall repairing our clothing and everything like that. So if you guys have got any tips about where we can farm thread, that will be highly appreciated. I will probably find thread at some point with the way I loot. I always do, but I'd like it if I could just grind certain spots. Like, I know how to grind the hiking backpack. I know how to grind most items, but the thread I'm struggling with a little bit. So if someone has, through all the hours of play, you know, got into some secret way to get thread, or places where thread spawns a lot. I mean, you know, there's spawners all over the world. So if you guys know what spawners usually have thread in them, just leave it down in the comments below. And then yes, further, this sardine factory isn't very dangerous. You know, you can definitely fill up on food, which I am going to do because I'm in a calorie deficit. I want to get my calories back to 0. I'm not really so focused on a positive calorie balance, you know, but I don't want to get too far into deficit. And yes, just taking my time, and I'm gonna skip a lot here, guys, because again, I'm bringing you 3 hours, you know, within a 30-minute period.
So I've probably spent a lot. I've spent a lot of time in here looting everything, checking the water, checking the beach, and checking the harbor side. You know, like the ocean side, looking for any boats. I didn't find any boats. I didn't see any boats. I like to use the right mouse button to zoom in, you know, down the river to see if I can see any paddle boards or anything like that. I killed birds, so I've figured out ways to hunt birds effectively. Okay, so I'm getting feathers from them, and then I'm trying to use the predator to my advantage, which you can clearly see there. Took out the three slow ones. Didn't see the fast one, but at least, you know, that's 4 puppets within 5 seconds. That's what makes a bow a good bow, so powerful. And here I've got a bird just stuck in here. Don't know how he got in here, but he's dead now. So yes, I'm killing birds constantly for their feathers. I don't always take their meat, but I'll have, you know, a few wings and a breast, you know. I'll have it in my inventory, 1 bird's meat, but I won't always eat it because I know it's high on fat and protein. So yes, it does give me, you know, it does give me calories as well. So that's the main thing that I'm keeping it for. It boosts my calories quite nicely. But of course I'm going to use the sardines this time to level my calorie balance, and then I can always use the birds if push comes to shove. And my clothing doesn't look too bad. I think I'm very happy with the clothing. Of course I want, one of the missions is to have a ghillie suit with a katana and an M82 and a AT-15. So of course I'm looking for that. But if you've got a good bow, then you can shoot the birds out of the sky. But what I found is if you just keep your eye on them, they will land. Okay, you mustn't be right below them, but you can just keep your eye on most birds. They do land at some point. Okay, so you can just go and see where they're going to land. And then, you know, stand still so that they can land in peace. And then you kill them. So that works nicely. And if they don't want to land and they want to just fly back up, then you shoot them out of the sky with a good bow. Okay, but in the wild, what I found was instead of running myself to death or wasting ton of arrows, I can just run after a bird and wait for him to land. Okay, and then I shoot him as soon as he lands. So that's a nice, easy method there for you guys to hunt some birds. And yes, I think we're at the end of the episode. Not a lot has happened, except for the Predator bow. The Predator bow is quite a big deal, okay? We switched to the club with the nails, which you all know is one of my favorites. Of course, I'm going to use anything that I get now. Whether it's the... I don't care. Whether it's the... what do you call it? The fork. I can't remember its name, the fork, man. The big fork, which you do farming with. I told you guys, that's like the best spear, if you have to put it that way. So whether I get the fork, I'm not going to use a shovel. I'm going to use the fork, or a pickaxe, or an axe, or a sledgehammer. It doesn't really matter what I get first. I will be using that, okay? Because I'll be able to sort out most of the targets from range with the bow. So my bow's just getting better and better and better. And then I want to finish off the close quarter enemies as fast as possible. So it will probably be between the pickaxe. Of course, if I find a bat, I'll use the bat. So a bat will probably be my first choice. The pickaxe will be my second choice. An axe will be my third choice. And then a sledgehammer will be my last choice. I know you guys love the sledgehammer, but I don't really want to use something that's slow. Because that's where you get staggered, you know, that's where you meet your end. I know it's a very, very powerful tool. But I can get stuck in a very uncomfortable situation where there's a lot of enemies, and I'll have to move around, and I'll have to, my shots timing will have to be perfect. We're still going to enter bunkers. We're still going to get into dangerous situations, which we haven't been in before. Of course, we've died so early in this challenge. But we're still going to get to some hairy situations, and I need a faster weapon. Of course, if I have a gun, that's going to be 10 times better. And if I get a katana, that will be it. Okay, nothing beats the katana. Katana is OP, okay? I don't really like using the bayonets on the rifles. The only reason why the bayonets on the rifle seem so good is because when you go into third person, most people that you watch has got the auto targeting on. So that's the only reason why they can kill any puppet with a single shot, is because they're using the auto targeting, and that's why you'll see them in the kill box using third person on purpose, so that the auto targeting can kill the puppets very, very easily, okay? And some of them even use it to shoot the puppets in the head in third person. You guys know I'm a purist. I don't use any advantage against players or puppets. And I'm not all about winning. I'm all about enjoying myself. So the bayonets don't really work if you put auto targeting off, and they're very inaccurate first person. You guys know I like fighting in first person, and of course I put the auto targeting off. So that's why I won't use a bayonet. But the close range weapons are absolutely great. You can see my calories are at a minus 1,300. When the food has processed that I'm eating right now, I did wait. The recording is going to stop now, but I did sit down and wait till my calories reach 0. So tomorrow we'll start with a calorie balance of 0, and maybe eat something to get our calorie balance up. But we're just going to go down this river over the bridge, and then we're going to start heading towards the center of the map. I just want to scope out B2, because that's usually where I've died. So I just want to scope out B2. Want to see if I can get into the hangars by the airfield quite easily, because the hangars by both, the air base and the airfield, whatever you want to call it, both those hangars are quite easy to get into without attracting the puppets or the megs, okay? But I'll try and have a weapon before I do that. I need a solid weapon. I know I've got a solid bow, but I need a solid weapon. And again, if you guys enjoyed this episode, please press the like button. And the subscribe button if you want to. And you can join me on Patreon in the description below. Have a great day, guys, and see you tomorrow for another survival episode.